Most people say, don't claim it at 62 now.
Oh, I know.
Why?
You really, for most people out there, if you're working, you really can't, because there's a dollar for dollar deduction for every $2 that you make over the amount of money that you're supposed to. So you really don't want to take it at 62, or it could wipe out your benefits. Or maybe you're not working, but here's a good idea. Maybe you're not working at the time and you're 62 and you're looking for a job and it's taken you a few months. You can claim Social Security and take it, and then you can, that's called file and suspend. And then when you go to work, you can suspend it and it'll go back and start calculating again.
Oh, really?
Now,
Okay.
I hope they didn't take that away. I don't think they did, but I would definitely always double check. I'm a human being. I'm not always 100% right, but when I say I'm right, I'm right. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I tell you that you can put money into an IRA, you'll be able to put money into a Roth IRA. If I tell you can't, you won't be able to. But the conversation is really this. Social Security Administration says about 1 out of every 3 people age 65 are going to live to age 90. Okay. It also says that about 1 out of 7 people age 65 will live past age 95. What is that? This is important data, okay? Especially for health history and spousal protection. So what does this really mean? Well, this means to me that it's proving everything I said about sustainable withdrawal rates. You can't take more than a certain amount out of your money, because you've got to get that money to last that long. Now, if you have a joint life expectancy, someone's going to live beyond age 95. So if you're retiring at age 65, you've got a 30-year life expectancy that someone's going to need that money. And guess what? You're going to lose one of the Social Security benefits when somebody dies. They're going to give you the higher of the two. And a lot of people don't know that when I see them, Jackie. They didn't even know that. Yeah, you're going to lose one. You get the higher of the two payments if you're both filing for Social Security. But like, I had a young guy recently that retired. He didn't go back to work. We got him. He was a radio show listener. This was a little while ago. He's been a client now for a couple of years. But it was, he worked. He was a technology guy, and he worked. He was making about $150,000 a year. And, he was looking for a new job. He got laid off. We got his business because what we do, folks, in our firm is very different than other firms. We'll take money that a lot of people will get granted stock options or stock from a company. And so he was given stock when he worked at eBay, and he worked at 2 big technology companies, eBay, and he worked at, I can't remember. It'll come to me in a second, but it was a big technology company. And so what happened was, Paychex. So what happened was, well, it was Paychex. It was another one. We took his stock, instead of selling it and reallocating it into a portfolio. We took his stock in kind, which means there's no tax because we didn't sell it. And then we used what's called an option strategy to protect it. And it actually has been working really, really well, because he said, how do I justify paying you guys your asset management fee? We charge an asset management fee to manage people's money. And we can talk about that when we see what's pretty customary in the market.
Of course,
we'll get into the cost and everything, because everything that you do at this point, there is no cost to talk to us, okay, in the beginning.
There's no cost to talk to you, right?
And so we justified it by explaining to him what will happen if we purchase options. And it actually did work. And he's really happy. And it helped diversify by setting a target. That's called a covered call. So we set a target by how much we wanted his price to go up and how many shares we would sell if the price went up to a certain amount. A lot of people don't have that strategy where they live, or have somebody to talk to about that. We've done a lot of business. Recently, I'm working on a guy, he's probably listening right now, that has $1 million of Apple stock. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's,
Whoa.
He's not a young guy. He's in his late 60s. He may even be 70. I don't remember. Don't kill me when you're listening to, who I'm talking about. And, I said, we can do the same thing for you, which would be, when is it the best time to sell? When is it the best time to take Social Security? And that's what we're into right now. And we help with these things by putting a plan in place. So I'm telling you that you're going to live a long time. So you might as well take that money and you might as well put that money away if you're not going to need it, because you're going to need it at some future point in time. There's a lot of things that are going against your money as you get older, other than inflation and taxes. What about long-term care? What happens if I have to have somebody come and help out because my wife can't lift me? There's lots of things that are going on. And so because 1 out of 7 people will live to age 95 and 1 out of 3 will live to age 90, we've got a plan for a life expectancy of a long time. And guess what? You're going to need the Social Security as a supplement to your income, because I guarantee you almost everybody out there does not have enough money to live without it. When you look at the combination of what you're going to get between you and your spouse if you're married, you're talking about somewhere between $60,000 to $80,000 a year. That's a lot of money, okay? That's expenses, So we can protect the savings, and you can tell them how to call us. I'll talk to them.
Gosh, I'd be happy to. 800-796-9912.
Premier Southwest Planning Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor. The content of this advertisement is intended for informational purposes only and is not intended to be investment advice. The views expressed in this program are subject to change based on market and other conditions.